So Susan Boyle holds the record for the fastest-selling debut album of all time. No, the answer is false.
No, it's true. Huh? Yeah, it is true. Subo's album, I Dreamed a Dream, sold 410,000 copies in its first week, making it the fastest-selling debut of all time, eclipsing the old record, 375,000 copies, Leona Lewis's Spirit, 2 and a bit years ago, you see? Yeah? Bad and worse, that's how it works. We're asking, does Susan Boyle deserve a Brit Award? Because the Brits panel, has snubbed her this year, not this panel, obviously. Dave, Gail and Charlie will give their thoughts in a sec. Love yours as well. 0207 173 5555 is the number. Now, apart from setting a new debut album record, Subo can also lay claim to recording the biggest-selling album of last year. 8 million copies shifted in just 8 weeks around the world, over 1 million of them in the UK alone, not to mention more than 120 million hits on YouTube. But none of that was enough to secure a single nomination for Subo at this year's Brits. Pixie Lott got one, Florence and the Machine got one, and even Bat for Lashes got one. And they are musical minnows by comparison in the sales department. As I mentioned earlier, 1,000 music industry experts decide who gets nominated, picking names from a lengthy list. I used to be on the panel myself, was proud to have done my bit to ensure the Spice Girls didn't get a single nomination back in 1998, despite topping the charts the world over. And you know how Brits bosses dealt with that, don't you? By introducing a brand new category, best-selling British album act around the world for 1 year only. There were no other nominees, and guess who won? It was indeed the Spice Girls. Oh. Yeah. It's a fix. It's terrible. Now, some say Subo's just simply too uncool for a Brit. And 5 Star weren't when they won Best British Group in 1987. It's enough to send you bonkers, or in Boyle's case, more bonkers. Does she deserve a Brit Award? What do you reckon, Charlie?
Well, based on the figures, she probably deserves to be nominated for one. Yeah. I mean, personally, it's not really my cup of tea, but...
You surprised me. I had you pegged down as a Subo fan.
I mean, yes...
I mean, Cliff Richard's never had one, as far as I know.
No, again, not really my cup of tea.
No. But lots of people do.
Lots of people
like
do.
it.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Should be on the list. Should be on the list. A nomination.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Is it because she's up for a Kerrang Award?
Is she up for it?
No, she's not. No.
Heavens and Betsy, yeah.
I don't really get the Brits. I've never really been a big fan of the Brits anyway.
I think they're becoming less and less relevant.
They are less relevant, and I just feel a bit kind of... I don't really want... I'm sure she's got a great voice. I've never heard her. I've only heard the clip bit when she sings that thing. And I know that she talks to her cat on the phone. That's about it. But I don't really think... I like, good rock and roll music, and things like the Brits, I don't care. Genuinely, I'm just fed up with people that enter competitions and then they've got a nice voice. She's not written any of that music, so not my cup of tea, but whatever.
Okay,
I don't think she really cares anyway, does she?
No, I wouldn't.
She probably doesn't even know what the Brit Awards are. No, I mean, you know what I mean? She might not know about the Brits and stuff, but she might not care about that.
On sales alone, does she deserve a nomination?
No, I mean, I'm in the rare category of having genuinely never heard her sing. I've never encountered Susan Boyle. All I know is she's Subo and she's in the papers.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where if the awards are about who sold the most, then you don't need the awards, you just give it to who sold the most. Yeah. If it's about having a judgment on something, then it's got nothing to do with sales figures and they can do what they like.
OK.
You can't possibly demand that someone be in it because they've sold the most, because then you might as well just give it to the person who sold the most and not have a ceremony.
Well said. Let's throw it open to you, though. Does Subo deserve a nomination, Kirsty?
We have Vicky on line 1.
Vicky, good morning.
Morning.
Nomination for Subo?
No, definitely not. Brits are all about original music, not those that have got the biggest PR machine behind them. And she hasn't done any of her own songs.
Hang on. Now, to be fair, before there was a PR machine behind her, she did get 120 million hits on YouTube.
Because she was on a show, not because she'd gone out there and done it herself. I mean, for years she's been doing it, just doing cover versions. So why should she get a Brit just because she's got this show behind her and she's got a great team that's promoting her?
Okay.
If I could sing, I could probably go out there and sell millions of copies because I did a cover version and everybody wanted to hear it.
I would like to see, Vicky, but thank you for your call all the same, and that is all we have time for today. Sorry, audience, we're just about to come to you. Many thanks for your calls, emails and tweets, some of them hilarious once again, and a huge thank you to this man, Charlie. I have to say, we're going to miss you. We really are. It's lovely to have you here. And make sure you catch him in EastEnders when you can. Dave and Gail, a pleasure once again. Give it up for our fantastic panel. OK, then, Tomorrow, So Solid star Lisa Mafia, she joins the panel. I can't wait to meet her. Safe Blood. And we'll be getting your verdict on Barack Obama's first year as president. Was all the hope just a lot of hype? Find out tomorrow at 9:15. Bye for now.